going to go here at number 14. Then 15 here, Peter Woods, who a lot of people say Caden McDonald will be the first defensive tackle off the board. I think it's going to be Peter Woods. He's a great player. The Bucks need that help. Then the Jets, the pick they traded for, it's Omar Cooper Jr. is who they take because they need a guy who can be on the same talent level as Garrett Wilson, on the same type of guy that can draw help away from Garrett Wilson. Omar Cooper's the guy they go with. Now, next set of picks here, Spencer Fawn of the Lions say, yes. How did he fall here? They go here. Dylan Thieneman replaces Harrison Smith for the Vikings. They're really happy about that. The Panthers are saying, how did this athletic freak of a tight end, Kenyon Sadiq, fall to us? Bryce Young is doing flips in his room. Then the Cowboys can't ignore the big boy, Caden Proctor. I know there's questions about if he can play tackle. Is he going to be a guard? But Jerry Jones, with a guy like that is on the board, he's not going to pass him up. Then it's the Steelers. Mekhi Lemon is going to fall to them. A lot of people a month ago would have said he's the second receiver off the board. Tomorrow night, he's the fourth receiver off the board. Steelers get a great compliment for Metcalf and Pittman. Then Basantis, the Chargers guard play is so bad, they go Basantis. They need it there. Then the Eagles, a lot of people say they might go a Lane Johnson successor, but when you compare another guy from Toledo up with Quinyon Mitchell in the secondary, a guy like Emmanuel McNeil-Warren is that type of player to go for. And then the Browns, they have a great draft. Caleb Lomu falls to them, the tackle out of Utah. They get Tate and Lomu in this draft, and they are real happy about that. Then our last set of picks here. Caden McDonald, the Bears, are really happy about this one. How did this big behemoth fall to us at number 25 is what they're saying, so he goes there. And then at number 26, the Bills need edge rusher help. They go with Ruben Bain's teammate, 25 years old, which is why he falls here, Akeem Mesidor. Then the 49ers need help at offensive tackle. They go Ian Achor, and the Texans seem like they need help on the offensive line. They go Pregnon because they need that help every year. Then everyone's saying the Chiefs, they did it again. Casey Concepcion falls to them. And the next pick, another receiver, Denzel Boston, goes to Miami. Malik Willis gets some help. Then our two Super Bowl teams here, Kendrick Falk and Zion Young, two edge rushers to finish off this first round. And I think C.J. Allen and Blake Miller just miss out. That's all for me here in my NFL first round mock draft. Guys, what are we thinking here?